Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen today, I want to talk a little bit about Sofi Technologies Incorporated once again. This is ticker symbol SOFI or Sofi, obviously as everyone knows it, and is the name of the company. And today was a weird, crazy day, not only for Sofi, but for the entire market. If you look at this graph, it looks like, earlier in the day was really rough, but it bounced back pretty strong. Maybe this is like, a pretty solid day in terms of, being a downward day or a negative day in the market. But then you look at the numbers and see that this thing is down 4.25% today. So, this must have been just an absolute bloodbath intraday, and it absolutely was. And for so many kind of speculative or more risky or more forward-looking or just even fintech technology stocks in general, a lot of things were down 8, 9, 10 plus percent intraday today, but then a lot of things did kind of start to turn around as the day went on. Some stocks made it all the way back to green. Sofi Technologies was not that lucky. They were still down 4.25%, but in this video today I just wanted to go over some recent news for the stock, what people are saying about it, what people think about Sofi right now, and whether or not people think it's time to buy the dip or to wait longer or to load up or whatever's going on. Obviously no financial advice in this video, not a financial advisor by any means, and not telling you to buy or sell anything, just talking about the stock, talking about the news, and going over things for entertainment purposes and to, give my own thoughts and opinions of what I would do from my own, investing perspective potentially. But definitely make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content, and consider checking out the first link in the description below for the Patreon. That would be absolutely awesome. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, obviously, markets are rough right now. But again, like I said, a lot of stuff turned around by the end of the day. Russell ended up 2.3%, NASDAQ up 0.6%, S&P up 0.28%, and Dow Jones up 0.29%, which is crazy because earlier in the day, the S&P was down as much as 4%. It was looking like it was going to be the worst day in the market since March of 2020, since the COVID crashes started. But everything turned around, and that was kind of crazy. And maybe that's a good sign. Maybe that was like the potentially the bottom of all this. Who knows? It was a crazy day. But again, a lot of stuff did start turning around. But there is still some people that, expect more crash to come in the future. There's people who think, hey, that was the bottom, we're ready to run, so kind of keep that in mind, of course. But we did have this, which I thought was interesting, from investorplace.com, because we've been covering Sofi for a couple weeks now, and InvestorPlace has been pretty big proponents of Sofi stock. They really believe in this thing for the long term. They believe in this thing for the future, and they've written a lot of good articles about Sofi, about buying the dip, or that this valuation looks good, this price looks good, hey, it's at 52-week lows, hey, it's time to jump into this thing. But now obviously there's different writers for InvestorPlace. It's not just one guy or anything like that, so that could be where some of the difference is coming from. But it is interesting that now that everything looks to be crashing, that everything has a ton of negative sentiment, that the market overall seems to be not doing too well, now InvestorPlace says wait for the dip before thinking of buying more Sofi stock. And I thought this was very interesting. They go over a lot of good things about Sofi. They talk about how important the bank charter is. They talk about how it has, relatively strong fundamentals depending on what you're looking at. They talk about how student loan repayments are set to begin this spring, and that could be a big boom for Sofi, obviously. But at the end of this, they say invest in Sofi once the euphoria wears off. They talk a lot about the good things for Sofi and how it could be good for the future. But then at the bottom, they say that the bank charter is icing on the cake. However, right now, Sofi stock is trading at steep multiples. Wait for shares to dip before adding to or initiating a position. I just think that's really interesting and really funny because, again, we've covered InvestorPlace a lot. And, in this $18, $15, $16 range, they were saying how good Sofi is or how good it's looking or all the good things. But now all of a sudden that it's $13.30 and it's crashing down and everything's down. Now they're saying the multiples are too steep. Now they're saying this is too much. We're barely off of the 52-week lows here. We're like 10% off the 52-week lows. Now they're saying wait for it to dip even lower. Like, I don't know. It's kind of interesting to me. Like, could this thing dip lower? Yes, absolutely. Is it trading rich by some traditional metrics? Yes, absolutely. But again, it's just funny how fast everything flipped. It seems like just last week, everyone was all about buying the dip. Everyone was saying how everything's going to bounce back. It's going to come back. We're going to get back up, to speed. We're going to reach new all-time highs. And it's just weird how fast everything has changed. We also have big news for SoFi, potentially. The fact that, we've known the Super Bowl is going to be at SoFi Stadium. This is, the football stadium in Los Angeles, just state-of-the-art, beautiful, beautiful place from all the pictures I've seen. We've known that the Super Bowl is going to be there, and everyone's hyped up, excited about that, all the branding and publicity and everything that SoFi is going to get. But now, the Los Angeles Rams have actually made it to the NFC Championship game, and they're going to be hosting that NFC Championship game, which means that SoFi Stadium is going to be hosting the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl all within the stretch of a couple of months, and this could be, or a couple of weeks, and this could be a great, great sign for SoFi. Now, again, is this going to make the stock price absolutely explode? No, but it could help them in a lot of ways. This could definitely help with customer acquisition. It could help, with their advertising and branding. They have an opportunity to get some of their new products, some of their new features, some of the new kind of deals and everything they have going on out to millions of people. And it's going to be, pretty cheap and cost effective, marketing and branding and advertising and everything like that. Going to be really, really cool. Again, I think this is coming at a great time. While the stock is down low, while prices are down low, to have the bank charter, to have the NFC Championship game, to have the Super Bowl, to have 1%, interest on checking accounts, where, just leading the market in so many ways at such a good time with the stock price, I think is really, really good sign for SoFi going in the future. I know on the SoFi stock subreddit, they talked a little bit about how, SoFi Stadium is going to propel SoFi Bank to being a household name. State-of-the-art stadium. It's going to host a variety of events like the Super Bowl, College Football Championship, closing ceremony and opening ceremony of the Olympics. It's home to the Chargers and the Rams, very, very popular teams. SoFi members, I didn't know this, get exclusive stadium perks like 25% cash back, express entry, and VIP access. That is really, really cool. And the stadium is the centerpiece of a 298-acre mixed-use development featuring retail, commercial, office space, a hotel, residential units, and outdoor park spaces. So it's in a great location in an amazing city, and it really is an amazing, amazing asset for SoFi in a lot of ways. And what a lot of people are saying is that they got a pretty damn good deal, on the naming rights and stuff as well. So this just seems like a really, really great, pickup and move by SoFi, and just an overall, great decision by the team and the management and everything. And I think that's a good sign. Just the fact that they're even making good decisions like this, and it seems to be working out really, really well. But it's also going to work out well for a long time. We also have this news that, has been going around everywhere. Meetkevin, and the fact that he has sold out of like 99+% of his stocks and everything. This post saying Meetkevin, a popular YouTuber who had $1 million position in SoFi, has sold his entire portfolio and is now shorting the market. And a lot of people are saying here, they don't care. They're saying, I'd never really listened to him anyway. He's not an expert. He's just a YouTuber. He goes for clickbait. He's trying to get views. And yeah, he's definitely doing a lot of that stuff. And, he's getting those views. His name is everywhere right now. Tons of YouTube videos about him. His YouTube videos are doing well. People are writing news articles, all this stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't overreact to this too much. I don't think it's a terrible sign. I don't think it means that SoFi's garbage, or that, SoFi is now some kind of horrible investment, or that Meetkevin is onto something necessarily. He's taking a big risk. He's gambling. Gambles pay off sometimes. They don't pay off sometimes. I really don't really care what he's doing that much. Now, obviously, him having a 7-figure plus position in SoFi and an 8+ figure position in the market can be a little bit meaningful. It's not like it's going to be moving SoFi crazy or anything like that, or if at all. But also the bigger thing is that how much reach he has. He has millions of subscribers, gets millions of views a day, or millions of views a week. I don't know if it's necessarily millions of views a day, but I know he's gone through portions of getting millions of views a day. He just reaches a lot of people. He can impact, a large amount of people, especially retail traders and stuff. And at the end of the day, I don't think retail traders, who knows exactly how much weight they have or anything like that. But yeah, he can scare a lot of people. He can put a lot of people off to SoFi or to the stock market in general right now. Maybe he makes these things go down a little bit lower. Maybe he makes SoFi come down a little bit worse. Maybe he makes SoFi look a little bit worse to a lot of people on the outside. But again, if SoFi keeps doing the things they're doing, if they keep growing revenue, if they get closer and closer to profitability, if they can just continue to grow and acquiring customers and getting them into their whole just full selection of products and offerings and all that stuff, and they continue to knock that kind of stuff out of the park, the stock price will follow for sure. Who knows if they'll actually be able to do that. But if SoFi, whether or not they succeed or fail going into the future, it's not going to have anything to do with whether or not Meetkevin sold out of his $1 million position or anything like that. that. So that's kind of what I think about that. Don't really think it's that big of a deal. This also is very, very interesting. So I saw this on the cryptocurrency subreddit. JP Morgan Chase has allegedly, this person's claiming, closed down the bank account of Uniswap's founder, saying it is simply for working in crypto. Again, that's just what they're saying. Hayden.eth this week, JP Morgan Chase closed my bank account with no notice or explanation. I know many individuals and companies who have been similarly targeted simply for working in the crypto industry. Thanks for making it personal. And people are saying that this is potentially an awesome opportunity for SoFi, not only to, help this person out and make that like a big, statement and kind of free advertising for SoFi, like, hey, you can't bank with JP Morgan Chase. Come on over here. Hey, we just got this new shiny bank charter. We can offer you, our full array of services and products and everything. But also just in general for people who are, being put off or being, cast away by traditional banks. And obviously it affects this person, but people who see this also hate this from JP Morgan Chase and maybe want to leave them. Obviously we've covered in the past Anthony Noto, the CEO for SoFi, talking about wanting to take down traditional banks and financial institutions, wanting to take away market cap and market share and clients and users and everything from them. This would be a cool way to do it. I feel like it'd be a really, really easy way for SoFi to get some free, easy publicity and advertising and stuff. I don't know if they are going to do anything. I don't know if they will do it, but I did think this was kind of an interesting opportunity. I thought this was a cool post that people were talking about. Again, not just necessarily with this person specifically, but with all kinds of people like this, especially in the crypto space or, just, I guess, financial spaces in general that are impacted by, some of the weird or shady or bad things that some traditional banks and financial institutions do. Did want to end this on a positive note that there was a post pretty high up on the subreddit. This was from 2 days ago, so I guess this was Friday, talking about people buying the dip. I know we've talked about this before with SoFi stock. Obviously, over the past year, it's been everywhere between 28, 26, and 11.83. Yes, the market is kind of down. Yes, the market's doing some bad things. SoFi's been beat down especially hard. It's looked rough, but again, there still are people excited out there. There are still people hyped up about the future of SoFi, not only as a stock, but as a company. And again, people who love this thing at 15, 20, 25, 28, whatever, are loving this thing at 13 and are buying the dip, and they potentially think that it's going to help them make a lot more money in the future. Again, nobody knows where this thing's going in the short term or in the long term, but there are some people buying the dip right now. It's not the end of the world. We're going to wake up tomorrow. The markets are still going to be here. SoFi's still going to be here. They're still going to have a chance and an opportunity to execute on all the things that they want or hope to do. So kind of take a deep breath, relax, maybe check your portfolio a little bit less often while we go through this crazy time. But just know, there's people buying the dip. There's people excited. And sometimes you have to go through markets like this that kind of suck and are kind of scary and are kind of stressful. But, if you navigate it well, it could make you a lot of money in the future, but who knows what's going to happen. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me, drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about SoFi stock. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.